handouts to everybody on some other issues that people want. We're finished listening to all the agencies and their needs. So what I've asked the committee to do is we'll go through the tracking sheet, and if there's any questions, we'll try to answer them. Keep in mind to the committee, we have the peach care issue, which we still don't know. And now we have the tornado issue, which we do not know as far as how many dollars are going to have to go to South Georgia, kind of like the flood days. I remember the flood days. So anyway, agriculture. Anybody have any questions on the agriculture budget?
Mr. Chairman, I got a question.
Sure.
Where were they asking for the Homeland Security or the security money, in the big budget or this one?
The 07 amended. It's not in this tracking document. We can add it, and I have talked to the people of the department, and they're saying they're having to spend a lot of time on food safety. And any of you want to add it, make a motion to add it, we can. It's only $77,000.
Second.
Who made the motion? Okay. Got a second? Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Add the $77,000 for the Homeland Security food safety. Mr. Chairman O'Neill, good to have you, sir. Okay. Okay, I think that was all for ag, if I remember right. Unless anybody else can think of anything for ag. Anybody? Okay, community affairs. Anybody have any questions on community affairs?
Hey, I'm not going to ask any more questions, I promise.
That's the most you've asked this year.
I know, I was just clearing my throat a few minutes ago. I'd like to make a motion that we add $200,000 for the Georgia Water and Planning and Policy Center.
Okay, where would you want to put that?
Probably in community affairs. It does a lot for us down in Southwest Georgia as far as, and they're losing some federal funds.
Okay. You put that in form of a motion?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That passed in another committee earlier today.
Oh, did it?
That Richard Royal was in.
Oh, okay.
Is that water thing? That
How much was put in there?
200,000.
200.
That's what I was
Okay. Okay, good. Thank you. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Are they waiting for the ag committee to come back with that? Is that
Well, that's in the 08. We don't do anything in the 07 amendment.
I just want to make sure.
Right.
I know they're still meeting or whatever.
We've got some language. I think there was one request from last year. The language was wrong, and can't remember who's got it. Holly's got it, I think. Holly? Okay, she's got it. She's not here today?
She's in that meeting.
Okay.
In that meeting.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions on Okay, do I hear a motion on community affairs?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Community affairs, if you'd notice, I had a request from the public school system, Catoosa County, about the amount of the school buses that are actually next to the high school. It's a large area, and the county had available buildings and area near the landfill, which is more central to the county, and they were requesting some assistance for this property to move those buses away from that high school over near the landfill. Would it be proper to ask for this assistance to be going into community affairs, maybe through the Environmental Facilities Authority, or would that not be in order? And they had requested the property itself is the county's going to sell it to the school system for $1.2 million, and I think they asked for like assistance up to $500,000. I was going to see if if we could get a couple $100,000 for assistance from moving all the county buses to this area near the landfill. Would that be proper going through the GIFA?
Probably needs to go under, I'm not sure, which section should that go through? Analysts? It's owned by the school system, isn't it?
Well, the property is the county has the property right now, but it's all the school buses. There's for the whole county are by this one high school, and they've been there forever. And they're trying to move these buses away and have them centrally located in the county near the landfill and clean up that property near the high school. Well, yeah, GIFA's underneath DCA.
GIFA would be, mainly that's done on a grant basis, loan basis.
Okay.
So I don't think it would be GIFA. Now, the land conservation issue, the $50 million is another issue that, the governor formed under the House Bill 98. So I wouldn't think that'd be the proper place to put it.
All right.
Or if you want me to, I can take it to the chairman of appropriation and to the green door and present it at that time. But if you want something in there now, all you need to do is make a motion on $200,000. If you can get a second. And
I'd like to see the proper place to put this under DCA. And I thought that would be the place due to the relocation of these buses away from the high school to be able to clean up that property and put them near the landfill. Would it be an economic development or a rural regional services? Regional services?
why don't we pass that? Is she gonna come? Is she gonna come by here? Oh, is she? Why don't we just take it up when we meet
Yes, sir.
tomorrow and Thursday? How about
Okay.
that? So, I've got a copy of it. So.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Only other thing I have is Virgil Flood, Representative Virgil Flood, has asked me about the city of South Fulton, the new city of South Fulton, the city of Chattahoochee Hills. We have funded planning money for these new cities. Of course, we may end up having another one, Dunwoody, and they're needing $150,000 each for planning, and they need it in the supplemental. So I didn't know what the feeling was of the committee to move on that or not. So I'm just bringing it to the committee. We did it for the other two cities that have been full. We did it for Sandy Springs and the other city, I can't remember the name of it. So $150,000 each for each city. Anybody have any comments on that? This is planning money when these cities, we pass legislation every time we voted to incorporate a new city. We have funded planning money before their election, when they form the new city. I guess it's to pay some planner, to form the new city. And we've got two more cities down in South Fulton. My understanding is they will have an election in July for their new city council, but they need to be in planning mode to form the new city, and I guess all the forming the charters and the ordinances and things of that nature. And we have done that for the other cities. Yes.
Which cities right now are asking this? I'm sorry, I apologize.
This is the city of South Fulton. Representative Virgil Flood has asked for the dollars, and also the city of Chattahoochee Hills. And we all, if you voted for the new city incorporation or new formation last session, you voted for this, I think.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to ask the
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, we have done it for the other ones, is that?
That is correct. Yes,
150 for each one?
correct. Okay. Any other questions? All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? No. Thank you. Anybody taking notes on that? Okay. Okay, that takes care of the community affairs budget, I think. Economic development's next. Anybody have any questions on the we got Zurich line in there, don't we?
Yeah. We did that.
Okay. Okay, only thing, the Resaca battlefield, we probably need to revisit that. Everybody has a copy of it. Did you get a handout on it, Chairman O'Neill, on the Resaca battlefield? Took us a little time to get information on what all they were going to do. As you can see, the planning, the historical marker program, and the preservation of other sites. On the development, Resaca, I think it shows $3 million with a $2.75 million match. The commissioner told me none of it could be bonded. I have been told it can be bonded to $3 million. Correct, Holly? Okay. So we need to put the $3 million in bonds, right, Holly? Have we got it in bonds on this tracking document now? Okay, so we need. Correct. Okay. Anybody have any questions on that?
This for the second,
It is.
so you're going from 1 to 3?
Actually, what we're going to do is the development is put it in the bond package. It can be bonded,
Okay.
according to the analysts, rather than all cash, to free up cash.
Okay.
So you're going to go from 5 to 3.
No, that's where,
One to
right,
3.
that's correct. It should be in the bond. Yes, sir.
Number 7.4 there. We just passed a substantial, seems like it was a multi-million-dollar tax arrangement for, is this in Columbus? Is that the one?
That's what I've been told.
They didn't tell us when they wanted all the tax bills, we were also putting $5 million into the, is that bonded indebtedness there too? Or is
No, sir, it's cash. That is privately owned. Why don't I let Chairman Smith explain that to you?
Mr. O'Neill, that's a $92 million project that they've raised about $42 million in Columbus, and then they came up and we presented a plan to the governor and to the chairman of appropriations, Mr. Harvin, and they're trying to get some input by the state of Georgia so that it'll strengthen them going all over the United States and asking for more money to put in there. So far, and the tax relief that y'all given last year, and I think they redid it again this year. Representative Smith came
Not
in.
just redid it, did it for another $1 billion something worth. I mean,
Right.
We've got some skin in that game already.
Right.
I mean,
Well, I put that out there for people to ask questions about, because I just put some in there for them to get started and to go along with their $42 million that they raised. So it's at the will of the committee.
Do you want to cut it, Chairman O'Neill?
well, I mean, I got a museum back home needs a lot of money too. I mean, if we're going to get in the museum business, especially from just an unallocated operational standpoint, you know.
Now, your request is in the 08, though, isn't that correct? That was the note you gave me.
It don't have to be.
Well, it's up to you. It's up to the will of the committee.
Did the governor turn down the request?
He's in favor of the request. He actually came to the groundbreaking, but he said he didn't say we couldn't go through the legislative process. He himself was not going to put the money up. So I'm just going through the legislative process.
What determined the amount? I mean, $5 million.
Well, they wanted 15.
Is there any? I mean, what are we supposed to be getting for the 5 as opposed to the 15? I mean, how's that amount determined?
The delegation, the members of the delegation said that we would ask for 5 because I didn't think we could ask for 15. I didn't think it was right to ask for that much. But that was just a determination we made as just representatives in that area.
Okay.
You want to? You gave me some notes on the 08 on your museum at Warner Robins. Do you want to add any dollars in on this, Chairman O'Neill? There's more cash in the 07 than there is in the 08, is my understanding at this point. But there again, we don't know what the storm damage issue is going to cost the state either. So.
Yeah, I'd love to have mine here. I mean, if that's
Sure.
possible. I was just looking.
150,000, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to put that in the form?
100,000.
100,000. Okay. You want to put that in the form of a motion?
Yeah, it's Robins Air Force Base Museum.
Okay. Can y'all hear him down there?
Second.
Yeah, not the Hall of Fame itself. It's resident there at the museum.
Second.
100,000.
Got a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Oh, Tommy's got a question.
I just wanted to be sure I was clear on this. What we're doing is we're leaving the Chairman Smith's money in, but we're adding Chairman O'Neill. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, Representative Lucas.
Chairman, while we added,
Can you speak in the mic where the analysts can hear you too, please?
While we at it, Mr. Chairman, if it's all possible, I'd like to see $50,000, and that would be split up between the Georgia Music Hall of Fame and the Sports Hall of Fame. Those are two state facilities.
Okay. What was that, operational use or?
Basic operational use, there has been some correlation between the two facilities, and what they've done is try to use the money, especially for advertisement and publications, as one budget, and the Sports Hall of Fame as well as the Music Hall of Fame coordinate that as far as the economic development.
Okay.
I'd like to make that as a motion, Mr. Chairman.
25,000 apiece, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Can I get a second?
Okay. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, like sign. Anybody else got any museums?
I got one at
Uh-oh. Did you have a?
I got a question that's done
Okay.
on the museum. I'm waiting until the museum stuff's over.
Okay. Go ahead. We're finished with museums, I think.
On the 22-1 here, what is the cut there from the governor's recommendation on from the Kia plant?
Well, it's moved to, if you look at the.
I see.
Okay. Just got to read the second line.
I apologize.
Okay.
Apologize.
Okay, economic development, all in favor of what's there and what we've added, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign, okay. Forestry Commission. I made a change on there. I'm adding 5 new crawlers necessary to fund to fit with environmental cabs. I thought, after talking to a lot of the forest rangers out in the state and in North Georgia, all these guys are all these guys are on these tractors with no protection, and there are a lot of accidents that could occur, and I've seen one accident happen before, so that was a request I made there. So if anybody's got any other questions about it, hopefully we can keep adding the environmental cabs to them. Do what? No, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. They can go anywhere they need to go. Chuck?
I just like to thank you. We had a fire down at Okefenokee. No, it's not actually in my district, but the fire came over the top of those cabs, and they did have the environmental cabs. If they hadn't had them, they would have probably got killed down there last year. It's really important for those guys. I don't know if folks in the metro area and in the urban areas don't understand the fire protection that these folks have in the rural areas. That's our fire department down there. And you get a 1,000-acre fire going, and it can go through somebody's subdivision in no time. And I appreciate you putting that in there. Thank you.
Thank you. Caucus Chairman Roberts.
Mr. Chairman, I agree with you, and I applaud you. Now, we did at one point didn't we talk about maybe going back and retrofitting some of the other crawlers, or did we decide not to do that as well?
Well,
add some more?
Yeah, they are doing that. Isn't that right, Woody? What's your number down at 29? Okay. Can't hear you.
I think that mic's not working.
Use Holly's.
They're actually not trying to retrofit because the cost is so high to retrofit an older. So as they're replacing them, they're going ahead and adding the cabs onto them after they replace them. So it's like an additional, once they've bought a crawler, they do the addition for about an extra $10,800 per crawler.
Okay. Any other questions on that? Chairman O'Neill, is that okay? Okay. Great.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Public Service Commission. Okay. Okay. All in favor? Aye. All opposed, like sign. Soil and Water Conservation, no changes. Okay. All in favor say aye. Any opposed, like sign. Okay. All right, Department of Transportation. It's got 46.8.1. I think we misspelled brain train. Brain.
It's got the Bryan train. It's called spell check. We can't fund both of them. Which one do you want?
Whoever it was not a problem.
It was a hard night, whatever it was. Okay. All right, Chuck, is that you again?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. You certainly may. What's your number?
16.
Okay.
The airport aid, what's that going to consist of? I think I'm for it, but what would you have in mind? Is that construction? Is it operations? Is it
I think it's
security?
maintenance, anything to do to support all the, if I remember right, Mr. Chairman, there are 103 airports around the state that we fund. And if I remember right, it excludes Charlie Brown, Hartsfield Jackson, and also Peachtree DeKalb. Isn't that correct, Scott? So it's to help all the airports across the state. Lights, any kind of maintenance, paving, things of that nature. Extending runways. So. Yes, sir, Mr. Roberts.
I know this would have grouchy old men sitting in caucus meetings.
Talk into that.
On that, following up on that $6 million, do we know as far as that $6 million worth spent, as far as extending runways and all, as far as what it's for? Do we have a breakdown?
What's your number down there, Scott? Okay.
I don't have a list right now of itemized for the whole $6 million. I don't know that they can put that together.
Earl's here. I bet he can. Earl, can you put us something together real quick?
Yes, sir. We keep a list of ongoing projects that are waiting funding, so we can quickly turn that around.
Okay. Can you do that for us? By the end of the day or tomorrow morning?
By the end of the day or first thing in the morning.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chuck?
Mr. Chairman, in this budget, we have found down in our county commission and city commission had come up and already given their priority road networks down in Coffee and Atkinson County. But one of the problems that has come up that we found that we're building a new middle school that's going to have 2,200 kids at it. During the planning process of that project, they did not discuss with the county commission about the road network in that area. And there's going to be 72 buses a day coming in there. And also about, we figure, that's 36 buses, 2 trips. I mean, that's, we figure 72 bus trips a day. And then we're figuring 1,800 cars a day with parents picking kids up. The other kids are, these are not driving kids. These are not kids that will be driving to school. We're going to need some assistance there in turning lanes, both A-cell and D-cell lanes out of there, so those buses can make that turn, and so that traffic won't be backed up on 441 and our 206 bypass where the school is. My question is, should I put that in? Should I ask for that in an 08 budget, or should I do that now?
When do you need it?
We're going to need it. The school will be ready in August, and that road network is not going to be ready in August. We're not going to be able to handle that traffic out there. We've been talking with DOT in it. We passed a bill, I think, transportation. There's been a transportation bill passed. I think Chairman Smith, I think you carried it about $100,000 on emergency funding, but that's not going to touch that XL-D-cell lane out there. It's
$100 million?
$100,000.
Cap
They raised the cap from 50 to 100, okay. But I don't think $100,000 will touch that out there, because the actual road network is going to have to be moved to the right or left, and we're going to have to do some property acquisition also. I just wondered what I need to do, because I'd hate for that school to get there. We have this bottleneck out there, because we got another problem with the high school too. I think we can fix the high school project, but I don't know if we can fix this without some funding somewhere.
Scott, you need to weigh in on this. What are you, 28? 27.
So you're asking if it needs to be in the amended, or?
Yes, sir. And I guess that's where I'm trying to find it. It'd be a one-time one thing. If we went to $100,000 on emergency funding, I don't think it's going to be enough money to touch the XL-D-cell that it's going to take out there. We've got some folks that are looking at the project now that are going out for survey. Our local engineers doing it, but we don't really know what to do about it, and I'm afraid we're going to have injuries out there with all the traffic that's going to be backed up. Our high school is only about 1,000 meters from where the middle school is, and you got a lot of kids driving to school, and you got parents taking all these middle schools. Our whole middle school is going to be out there. We at one time had 2 middle schools, now we've consolidated to 1 middle school with 2,200 kids in it. And we just didn't plan that well with the road network. We did a real good plan with our school, but we just didn't do a network plan on the road, and I don't think they really planned for as much traffic that's going to be out there.
Okay. We'd want to put it amended. Are they going to start in the spring, early spring,
no,
if they have the funding?
The school should be complete. They're wanting to open
in August.
In August.
Right.
They said it'll be through, but they've already told us that they'll be open and going in August.
Okay. Do you know how long it'll take to finish it?
The road, I don't know, but we should be through latter part of July with school.
Okay. Yeah, the amended would be the best place to put it in.
If we could, what I'm looking at, if we could get an emergency fund for $100,000, then we could ask for $200,000 to do the acquisition. I don't know if that's enough to do, if we could put it in here or what. But I do have, it is an emergency situation that we're trying to keep from arising out there. We see it now.
Hey, buddy, can you come up here and address this since you're... Help.
I'm not familiar with this particular location, but this is a statewide issue.
Cut that mic on, I guess.
This is a statewide issue, not only for the state route system, but also the county roads. There seems to be a really big disconnect between the county government and the school system. And we're in the same situation. I mean, the county's school systems are building roads and then asking us to come back and help them out after the fact. And it's the same thing that's going on with the counties. The counties are a little bit frustrated, too. And I can't remember the bill number, but there is actually a bill number to address this issue that school development has to be coordinated through the county as well.
And I agree with that totally. But what happened, I think there was a supposition among the school board that they could actually ask for transportation funds, and they can't do that. And that was a supposition that we had gone through. I'm just afraid, my biggest fear is a problem, a wreck, or something that happens out there. We already have enough fender benders for the kids driving to the high school, but I just don't want to see that kind of problem out there with all those middle schools trying to go to one area.
The only other thing I'd like to address is, I guess you had a meeting with the commissioner, our state aid coordinator, and there's only so much money he can distribute across the whole state. It's up to the county to determine their priorities, if that's a priority for them.
This is both state routes. It's not on county. These are both state routes that are there. It's not a county road. Otherwise, they'd do county assistance, but I don't think we can do we can't do the SPLOST. We found that out because it wasn't in the original SPLOST. And if we could have done it then, if we'd have known, again, they didn't coordinate this well with the county commission. And I'm just worried about it. There's a lot of people that are asking me. My sheriff has asked me to ask for it. My county commission and my school board have all asked for it.
Well, if you don't mind, Mr. Chairman, all I'd do is just go back and talk to the commission when he gets back and see what we can do on that endeavor.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Representative Houston.
Well, I had met with them about the same situation, and my school board came up, and we got the same situation in my county, state road. And somehow this school board needs to coordinate with their county.
I agree.
Before they start building this.
Okay.
Because I've got problems just like Chuck on my road.
Okay.
Am I correct, Mr. Chairman, in saying that East Bluff will not let you do transportation funds? We got East Bluff built school. That's
Or any infrastructure at all.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, what do you want to do then?
Well, I'll hold up if I can wait, Mr. Chairman. And
We can go ahead and note it in the document if you want to do that, and then carry it on through.
yes, sir, if you want to try to go to the green door, that'd be good too. I'll hold back, and if we can get it, if we can get a promise from them, I'll back it off out of the budget. We can get it in some other funding.
Okay.
I would appreciate it, but it'd be a one-time thing, and I just asked for $200,000 on that to try to get the acquisition. I think that's going to be the problem with acquisition process. Talk to you.
Anybody have a problem with that? Do I hear a motion to approve it? Got a motion and a second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? On the rail, 46.8.1, we did make one correction. I do need to add another $1 million to that, to the brain train, and I think, Scott, we were going to redirect some bonds that you and I talked about. $1,050,000, okay.
So we had another $1,050,000 to do that.
Yeah. And that's mainly just to update the study and possibly acquire some property for stations, is my understanding. And the bonds will be redirected, Scott, from Atlanta Atlanta to Lovejoy. Isn't that correct? No, that was another. That was on that spur. This is on the redirection in Atlanta to Lovejoy bonding that's sitting there. Okay. Anybody have a problem with that? Okay. Any other questions on the DOT? If not, okay. Got a motion, need a second? All in favor say aye. Any opposed, like sign. Okay. That concludes the meeting. Unless anybody else has anything else to say on the committee, we'll move this to the next meeting, which we'll have tomorrow. Then it goes to Green Door Thursday morning.
What time tomorrow?
Well, this is for the chairs, vice chairs.
Yes, y'all.
Yeah.
So we're going to meet in more this week?
We may on the 8th, yeah.